This is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today we are bringing you everything you need to know about the Galaxy Note 8. And we're going to cover the price, the release date, every feature you want to know about, every promotion you want to know about. So make sure you check out the whole thing so you get all of that information, and subscribe if you haven't, because we're getting our Note 8 most likely by the end of this week. So we'll start our videos and coverage on the device. So stay tuned for that. All right, first and foremost, the pre-order date is actually tomorrow. So it starts right away. Pre-orders are going to start tomorrow, and it's going to bring with it some nice promotions. So let's get on to the promotions, and that is right here. It's the first part. So first of all, the big promotion is coming with it is going to be that you either get one of these two products, depending on which carrier you go with. You're going to get any one of these choices, but each carrier might have their own promotions we don't know yet besides that. But we haven't heard about their promotions, we have heard about their pricing. So first of all, the promotion right here is you either get a 360 camera, which is the better dollar value out of the two, or you get a fast wireless charger and 128 gigabyte micro SD card. So either one's going to be really good to get. I myself have the other two already, so I already have that fast wireless charger. I love it. It's the best wireless charger you can get. It's fast, and it can either go upright or flat, so really good for that purpose. And you also, of course, get a 128 gig micro SD card, even if you don't need it for this. If you have a Nintendo Switch or something along those lines, there's lots of things that take micro SD card, so it's great for whatever your needs are. But the 360 camera is one thing I'm very curious. I have not gotten the new 360 camera, so we'll get that one as the free one and then review it, of course. So that is the promotions. Now what about the pricing? Well, the pricing is dependent on your carrier, and T-Mobile is the cheapest. I predicted $920 to $980. I just fell short of that. It's $930 to $960. So it's still in the range that I said it would be for my predictions video. But here are going to be the main things. $930 for T-Mobile, $960 for Verizon, $950 for AT&T, and $960 for Sprint. So Verizon and Sprint are the two most expensive for this device. Now, of course, they're all going to break down into payments. So for T-Mobile, it'll be $30 a month because you're also putting $210 down. Unless you do jump on demand, then it's $40 a month. Again, depending on what plans you're on. Verizon is $40 a month. AT&T is $32 a month, $31.67. And Sprint on their Galaxy Forever plan is $20 a month. So those are the different options depending on which one you want to get. And again, no promotions per carrier has come out yet, at least not as of this time. And we're talking about around 1:30 on the day of the announcement. All right, now let's get to the actual features that are on the device itself. So first of all, it comes in 4 different colors. However, in the US, it is currently going to pre-order with black and gray. I have heard gold is coming to the US as well, but I have not heard if that is going to be available as of tomorrow or if you're going to have to wait a little longer for that. Blue, however, is not coming to the US. Now, keep in mind that Samsung has done this holiday color before. Now, it's usually on the S series phone, but could the blue later on come to the US in the holidays? It's a possibility, but you're not going to find out till maybe like November, December, and if you really want to wait that long, well, then you might miss out on the promotions and pre-orders and all of those things. Now, it will have the Infinity display. It's a 6.3 inch display this time around, so slightly bigger than the 6.2 inch you get on the S8 Plus. It's still going to have IP68 water resistance. However, if you did miss our video on the 5 best new features of the Galaxy Note 8, the main thing to take away from this is that you can actually use the pen in water. So your fingers don't work underwater, but the S Pen does. So you can take photos, use your Snapchat, things of that nature you can actually use while underwater because of the S Pen. You also have, of course, obviously expandable storage, as that's one of the pre-order stuff. So you're going to have up to 256, it's actually up to a terabyte, but for most users it's 256 of expandable storage. You do have still a headphone jack, so that was a big concern as well. Like, oh my god, are they going to get rid of it too? Apparently, according to Apple users, of course, they do not have as much courage. So obviously, if you know why Apple got rid of the headphone jack, you'll know that. And you still get the AKG headphones. We will be going over every single thing in the box because we know everything in the box is coming as well. You, of course, have fast wireless charge capability. Now, this is a big difference from it and every other device on the market. There's phones like the LG G6, the new iPhone. A lot of these phones are going to have wireless charging. Samsung is the only maker that has actually produced their own standard for fast wireless charging. So they do have the only fast wireless charging ability out in the market right now. You still have the fingerprint scanner. It is further to the side as people complained about the S8 and like, oh, I'm gonna hit my camera. I always said if you had a a case, you never really had that issue. But the big thing is that, of course, you have this ability to actually have it further away from the camera so you'll never smudge it. You have the iris scanner still as well, so if you want the quickest way to access your phone, iris scanner is going to be the best way. This is also the same kind of technology that's going to be on the iPhone one. However, Apple is going to combine iris and face scanning to possibly even be quicker, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And these are all the specs, so you can pause this right now if you want to see all the specs, but basically dual cameras, 12 megapixel dual sensor, dual pixel sensors, f1.7 on only on the main rear camera and still on the front camera for the 1.7 aperture. That means great low light. However, the telephoto lens is going to have optical stabilization, which Samsung made a big deal. It's the first one that does have optical stabilization on the zoom camera, which is correct, but it's still 2.4. I was at least hoping for 2.2. Again, the smaller the number for aperture, the better in low light. So you're not going to want to zoom in too much in low light, no matter what Samsung says about the stabilization. Is it better than the iPhone in low light? Yes, but is it way better? Not by much. It's just less blurry. So you're also going to have the 10 nanometer processor, same one that we got in the S8, so there's no difference there. You have 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gig is going to be the only version in the US, however other countries are getting bigger storages. What else? 3,300 milliamp as we predicted, also only Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0, so it still has fast charge but only 2.0, and it still has Samsung's own standard, which is adaptive fast charging. So if you do have a Samsung charger, it is quicker than a standard Qualcomm quick charge. So just know that, the difference between that. And finally, the 3,300 milliamp battery, it is disappointing. Samsung played it a little too safe in my opinion, and they should have made a thicker phone with at least a 3,500 milliamp battery. They didn't want to test any battery issues this time around for obvious reasons. I think it still sucks. It will come with Android 7.1.1, so the latest version of Android it will have, but it will not, of course, have Android Oreo till I'm guessing November or December. That is typically Android Oreo will most likely come out in October, and then if following suit, manufacturers don't get it till 1 to 2 months later. So my guess is if I had to bet, the Note will get it in December, and then the S8 will get it in January, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, it also has gigabit speed in terms of Wi-Fi and LTE. They made a big deal out of that. Only carrier right now that I believe has it in more areas than just a small one is T-Mobile. They have at least it in more areas. However, Verizon's quickly catching up and other carriers are beginning to get the gigabit speed as well. I know AT&T is in Texas, so each one has their own region, but we're growing quicker to have that much faster internet speed that we all want. Alright, now some of the new features, let's go over them. So this one's one of the biggest ones that I would say most people are going to be using on a day-to-day basis, or at least on a weekly basis, and that is the new live blur. So again, I explained this in another video, but live blur basically means this. You have three subjects right here. You have the phone, me, and the background. You can actually choose if you want this clear with me and the background blurred out, or if you want to push that blur back so that I'm clear and the phone is clear, but the background is still blurred out. You can actually do this on the fly, so you're not thinking after the fact. You also can do what I had mentioned in the other video, which is you can take a photo, but any zoomed in photo, if you hit the little square icon that is in yellow right here, then you're going to also be able to always have the wide shot as well. So if you want to know, like, oh, what did I cut out of the photo, you take both photos simultaneously. This will take up a bit more storage, but at least you always have the best look overall. You of course have the 2x zoom, so you can zoom in. This is really great for when you're far away from things and you don't want to lose the quality. 2x is really good. Up to 5x is actually pretty decent on the Note 8 that I played with the other day. And you also have live messages. Now, I had heard of this, but I did not get to play with it. So I'm very curious to see how this turns out. Live messages is just basically creating a GIF, but it's with your handwriting. And Samsung has implemented a lot of fun stuff to that. You can think of this as like iMessage, Lime, a lot of these third-party message apps do it, but because this is just creating a standard GIF, it all goes on just sending it however you want. So you can send it through text message, anyone can receive it. It's not a special locked-in feature that only a Samsung to Samsung person can use, much like iMessage is only something you can do between iPhone and iPhone. So this can go across to anyone, so that's really great. And you can write down, you have lots of sparkly stuff. I think that's probably the thing my wife's gonna like the most out of it, lots of sparkle. So really fun looking stuff. I'm curious to see how it'll turn out. The other thing that we talked about in our last video was the fact that it is going to have what they called pair apps. So the whole idea behind this is you can see there's two apps right there on the corner, which is video and message. So if you like to watch something while typing a text message in and you do it often, you can actually just hit that button and it will immediately launch the two apps simultaneously. So this is great for multitaskers. As I said in the video, I often navigate while having a YouTube video in the background playing whatever thing so I can listen to something while I drive. So I always have split screen. I'm a big fan of it, and this is a feature that I like a lot. You also have screen off memo. So what this is basically, when your screen is off, you can take your pen out and immediately start writing. You don't need to launch an app, you don't need to do anything. It just launches right away. Notes have had this in the past. The big deal that Samsung made about this one is that you can actually do it for, like, I forget how many ridiculous amount of pages, over 20 pages or something like that. It doesn't matter if it has like 3 or 5, you're not gonna write down a novel there. So that's all that matters, that you have that many. You also have the S Pen with Bixby. Now, Bixby is the new version of Samsung's virtual assistant, and it's improved. They've made great strides in it, is what they've told us. I still think it's good. Make sure you check out our 10 best features on Bixby, because that'll apply to all of this if you really want to know how good Bixby is. And it really is good for specific things, just not good for everything. For the rest, you use Google Assistant. So here's the main thing about this, that you can actually highlight any text with your pen or an image with your pen or anything along those lines. You can go on a website, highlight a pair of shoes, and see how much those shoes cost on Amazon. Or you can highlight text and it'll immediately translate it to a different language. Or you can scan a QR code. Any of these kind of things you can immediately do with the pen now, so it's a lot more useful than it was before, but how often will we use it? Well, I'll have to wait and see when I get in the studio. You also have something that they brought from the Tab S3 with S Pen, which is a coloring app. However, they seem to integrate it in as a coloring app part of S Pen, which it was its own app before. So I don't know if they bought the company or if they're just doing a tie-in with it, but it allows you to do some really fun artwork. I did this, I really liked it on the Tab S3. It made me look like I had way more talent than I did, just because of how the end result is. So if it's the same kind of style, you're in for a treat. It really looks amazing, and my Instagram for a while was looking really good when I was doing it for a month. So yeah, sounds really good. The other feature is, of course, you can still always draw, you can still always put stickers on photos and all that kind of stuff. A lot of editing features built in for the S Pen, and they were continuing on about that. And of course, whenever you screen capture, you can capture as part of a screen. You can make a GIF from a video, so you have that ability too. You can write down little notes on screen. Obviously, all that was because of the S Pen. And finally, what comes in the box? All right, let's go between each of these. Number 1 is the Note 8. Number 2 is your S Pen replacement tips. A lot of people don't know that one. That is just in the box, so if you tip breaks or anything like that, you can grab it, just a tip, and then replace it. Number 3, of course, is the fast adaptive charger. Again, the Samsung charger will be faster than a standard Qualcomm quick charger, so important that to note. Number 4 is a adapter. It's a little adapter that's come with a lot of Samsung phones lately, and it's just basically this little tiny adapter, and it changes your micro USB from your old plug to the new Type-C that this has. Yes, this does have a Type-C connector, which in my opinion is much better, so you will have to get used to that though, and this will help you change one of your old plugs to work with this new device. You have adapter number 5 is actually one that will allow you to transfer anything from your old iPhone, your old Samsung, your old LG, your old Huawei phone, whichever one you're coming from. You connect it into the Note 8, use the USB that came with your old phone, connect it into your old phone, and transfer everything over. I would say, if I remember it correctly, I would say it was about 7 gigs in about a minute. Only if you do it in the beginning. Make sure the salesperson does not skip this part, because if you wait till after, it takes over twice as long, so make sure you know that. Number 6, of course, is the Type-C cable. Number 7 is the SIM card and micro SD card removal tool. And number 8 is the AKG headphones. So that's everything that comes in the box. And of course, Samsung has a slew of lots of accessories for them. Nothing really too wowed except for one new accessory that I'm kind of interested in. I'm surprised because I've never liked Samsung cases. They've never been my thing, quite frankly. But I'm very surprised because this one is pretty interesting. It is a protective case that also has a kickstand built into it, and it looks rather smaller. This I am actually buying. I am actually buying this. I want to use it, see how it is, and I'm very curious on if anyone else is interested in this one, because quite frankly I am. I think it's a really cool one, so very curious to see how it goes. Alright guys, hopefully you did like this video. If there's any other questions you have about the Note 8, ask them in the comment section down below. And what videos do you want to see on the Note 8? Remember, I'm going to have it most likely this weekend, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below what are the first videos you want to see as soon as I get it. Alright guys, thank you again as always for watching. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up before you leave. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.